All right, today's lesson is going to be about dividing with decimals. All right, so we've learned how to add and subtract decimals, we've learned how to multiply decimals, and we've learned how to do long division. So now we're going to combine decimals with long division. Our I can statement for today is going to be I can fluently divide decimals. Okay? So it's basically the same thing as long division, but there's one extra step. So before we jump straight into decimals, let's review long division. All right. If you have a decimal in the dividend, only just move the decimal up into the quotient. All right. So basically what that means is if we review our places, all right, remember this is our house. All right, the dividend, all right, that's the first number in our problem, is the dividend. The second number, what's being divided by, is the divisor. And the answer is the quotient. So here it says if you have a decimal in the dividend only, meaning it's under the house, you just move the decimal up into the quotient. So for example, let's say I was doing 3, and let's say I have 9.27. Now let's say we have 9 and 27 hundredths divided by 3. Notice I only have a decimal in my dividend. So what it says is I just take this decimal and move it straight up and plant it right there, and then we just pretend the decimal doesn't exist. Okay? That's going to be your easiest thing. Now, so let's practice a few like this. All right, I'm going to change the view here to dual page because I have some handy dandy graph paper that I want to use. When doing long division, I really like using graph paper because it organizes my work. So my first one, put my divisor on the outside, and come out this way, put my dividend, which is 47 and 934 thousandths. So I only have a decimal in my dividend, so I'm just going to bring that decimal straight up, plant it, and then I'm going to pretend the decimal's not there. And then we're going to remember our rules. Do you remember our rules? You divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, and then bring it on back and start all over again. All right, so we're going to divide. Well, 3 go into 4. Can 4 be divided by 3? Yes, it's smaller, so we know something. So the closest thing is going to be 1. 1, you look at a little multiplication sign here to remember to multiply. 1 times 3 is 3. So our next step is to subtract. 4 minus 3 is 1. So we've divided, we multiplied, we subtract. So now we're going to bring down our 7. Okay? 17 divided by 3, what's going to be my closest answer? And that's going to be 5. 3 times 5 is 15. Subtract. Answer's going to be 2. Bring down my 9. So 3 will go into 29 how many times? Well, we know 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 6 is 18. 3 times 7 is 21. 3 times 8 is 24. 3 times 9 is 27. And 3 times 10 is 30. So we can't go any higher than that. So 9 is going to be our closest answer. 9 times 3 is 27. Notice I'm only using the 9. I'm not using any of these other numbers when I am multiplying. Just multiply the number I put down, the number I divided by. So 9 times 3 is 27. Subtract 29 minus 27 is 2. Bring down my 3. I get 23. So using those math facts we just talked about, we know that 7 is going to be our closest answer. 7 times 3 is 21. Subtract. And bring down. Alright, we know 3 will go into 24 8 times. 8 times 3 is 24. I subtract, and I get 0. Do I have any other numbers out here to bring down? Well, I mean, there are zeros. You can put zeros, but is it going to make a difference? No. And our remainder is 0, so that means our final answer, our quotient is 15 and 978 thousandths. Okay? All right, what I want you to do is I want you to pause the video, and I want you to try this one on your own. All right, let's see if you got it correct. So I'm going to put my divisor on the outside, 126 and 96 hundredths. All right. So will 4 go into 1? Oh, will it go into 12? Yes. How many times? 3 times. Notice that I put my 3 over the 2 first. Okay? Oh, Miss Pittman forgot something. What did she forget to do? That's right. There's a decimal in our dividend. So I need to bring my decimal up and plant it. Make sure it goes in the right place. All right. You could do this afterwards, but I like to go ahead and put it in there so I don't forget it. Like I almost just did. All right. 3 times 4 is 12. Subtract 0. Bring down the 6. Will 4 go to 6? Absolutely. 1 time. 4 times 1 is 4. Subtract. 6 minus 4 is 2. Bring down the 9. Notice I didn't even bother with that decimal. I've already moved it. I don't have to do anything else with it. 4 times, well, go into 29. Let me think. Oh, I know. 6. 4 times 6 is 24. Bring down my, I got 5 as my remainder. Now, if my remainder is bigger than my divisor, did I go high enough? No, I didn't. When you subtract, this number right here should never be bigger than your divisor. Okay, that's where a lot of us mess up. So let's see if we can go back. See if it'll let us go back. There we go. All right, so let's say 7. What's 4 times 7? That's right, 28. 4 times 7 is 28. So 29 minus 28 is going to leave me with 1. Bring down my 16. Will anything go 4 go into 16? Yes, 4 times. 4 times 4 is 16. Subtract 0. There's nothing to bring down, and my remainder is 0. So my final answer has to be 31 and 74 tenths. So I hope you got that answer. All right. Now we come to the problem when there is a decimal not only in the dividend, but there's also a decimal in the divisor. So let's see how that looks and what that's going to do to us. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and set it up. $25 and 641 thousandths. All right, our first gut is to move that decimal in the dividend up. But since we have a decimal in the divisor as well, we have to slide it to the right. Okay, we're going to slide it to the right. 1, 2 times, and now we have a whole number. We want a whole number divisor. So if I move that decimal, whatever I do to one side, you have to do to the other. That's always the rule of math. So since I moved it in the divisor, I have to move it in the dividend. Okay, and since I moved it 2 places to the right, I'm going to move it 2 places to the right in my dividend. 1, 2. Plant it. Now I can move my decimal up.
If there are any teachers on campus, the office is open if you need to get anything. Thank you.
Alright, sorry about that, guys. Alright, so now we can divide. We have 9 divided by 2,564 and 1/10. So will 9 go into 2? No, but will it go into 25? Yeah, how many times will it go into 25? Well, let me think. 1 times 9 is 9. 9 times 2 is 18. 9 times 3 is 27. So can I use that one? Oh, so I'm going to have to use 2. All right? 9 times 2 is 18. I subtract. Looks like I'm going to have to do some regrouping here. 15 minus 8 is 7. Bring down my 6. How many times will 9 go into 76? If you don't know, use your fingers trick, okay? 9 times 6 is going to give me 54. 9 times 7 is going to give me 63. 9 times 8 is going to give me 72. 9 times 9 is going to give me 81, and 81 is too big. So it looks like we're going to have to go with 9 times 8 is 72. I'm going to subtract and get 4. Bring down my 4. Now, we know that 9 times 5 is 45, but can we use that? Because it's going to be too big. So we have to do 9 times 4, which is 36. We're going to have to regroup again. All right. 14 minus 6 is going to give me 8, which is smaller than 9, so it works. Bring down that 1. 9 times 9 is 81. Subtract. I get 0 as my remainder. There's nothing left. So my final answer is 284 and 9/10. So the biggest difference here is you just have to slide your decimal over however many times in both places. And that's how you do it. If you want to pause and you want to try this one right here, try it out and then check it in the calculator and see if you got the right answer. All right, that's how we divide decimals.